Hello, my name is Matt Nolf. I'm with PNG Technologies out of Michigan. We're a supplier of custom natural gas and propane kits for generators. Today we're going to be showing you the Powerhorse. This is the inverter style. This is the 4500 starting, 3500 running. We're going to show you how to convert this to propane, and then we'll show you the steps on the natural gas, and we'll go ahead and get started on that. Okay, first thing we're going to do is go ahead and remove the cover. This is on the air cleaner side where you check your oil. So these are just two Phillips screws up here. Just go ahead and loosen those up. And then just pull this flap up here. Kind of grab this here. There's a pin back in here and here and here that kind of secures it in a little bit more. Just go ahead and pop that out. Set that to the side. We'll show you the next procedures on the air cleaner setup. Okay, now what we're going to do is go ahead and remove our air cleaner box here because we have to install our adapter between the gasoline carb and the air cleaner box. Now everything we're going to touch here is pretty much 10 millimeter for the studs and the back vibration. First we're going to get a pair of pliers, go ahead and remove our breather hose here. Just kind of get that hose pulled off. And my hands might be in the way sometimes on this, but I can't help it. It's such a tight fit in there. I just kind of pull that hose up out of my way. Now on the back side of this, there's a vibration bolt. We're going to go ahead and remove that. And again, I apologize if my hands get in the way, but it's kind of hard to see in there. All right, now we're going to go ahead and unclip the air cleaner. And then up top there's a little clip also. Just press that out. Pull your air cleaner out. Pull the filter out. And then there's a metal plate back here. And this is basically just to keep this from sucking into the carburetor. So you got to make sure you install that back in there. And then what we're going to do is go ahead, and these are 10 also. Remove the two nuts on here that's holding the air cleaner to the back. And then we got one more on the inside here. And that'll give us access to the carburetor here. Let's go ahead and pull that. And then we have another tube here that's going over to the valve cover. Just pull that off. You can keep that on there. It's not going to be in your way. Just push it back a little bit, and then we'll show you the next steps on how to install the adapter. Okay, now when we install our adapter on here, obviously we're pulling this away. So the air cleaner is going to be pulled back. So the nuts that go back on the studs here are going to be away from it. So what I do is just without gnarling the gasket up, if you can pull the gasket off, that's the best thing to do without, just try not to tear it. And then what you're going to do is get vice grips up as far as you can to the end. You don't want to touch the ends, obviously, because you're going to put your nut back on. And just lock down on those, okay? And then kind of snap them quick, all right? And they'll turn. And then you're going to turn these out about 4 or 5 turns on both of them. And then you could keep checking the clearance just to make sure that everything's going to fit back on there. Now we've already pulled it out, so we know we got enough clearance on there. These are very easy to come out, and there is enough meat back in here to keep this stable. Them studs are back in there over about 1 inch, and we're only pulling it out about 1/4 of an inch. So we'll go ahead and show you the next procedure on that. Before we get our adapter back on here, we have to install a gasoline shutoff on here. There's not one on the machine. So what we're going to do is, this is going to be tough for you to see, and I understand that. But the gas line is back here. Make sure you have no gasoline in the tank. This happens to be a brand new unit here. So just go ahead and get your pliers up in there. Pull your clamp down. Pull your hose off. Install our shut-off valve on there. And again, this is a tight fit, so it's a pain in the butt to get in there. Pull that clamp back a little bit. right, there we go. Get our clamp back down. Okay, we're all set there. Again, I know my hands are going to be in the way, but all I'm doing is basically just installing this shutoff valve on the existing line. There was a little gas in it, so it's slippery on me is what it is. Let's pull that back again. Where you push that back on. There we go. All right, bring the clamp back down again now. All right, there we go. Now we've got a clamp on the other side, and we're just going to push this back up on there. Face that clamp your way, because it's easier to get it going once you're up on there. Slide that on there. Put your clamp back up on that. And you're good to go. Now, if you're going to run gasoline again, just come in here and turn this back on. There's an on and an off on it. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and get the rest of it installed. Now we're going to install our slim adapter here. All right, now we want to make sure the hose is on here first, because you're not going to be able to slide this up on when after you do it and get your clamp down. So make sure you install the gasket back on that's existing with the machine. Go ahead and just slide this through here. Get it lined up on there. All right, see the clamps in my way a little bit there, so we're going to bring this around. It's just hitting the back of that tube a little bit. There we go, nice and clear there. Go ahead and tighten that back down. And press that back on. Okay, and then we're going to supply you with the gasket. Okay, then we'll go ahead and get the air cleaner back on. And then we got our inside one here. Oh. Have to fish that out. Got that fish back out of there. Now let's go ahead and get this installed back on here. Go ahead and lock those down now. Go ahead and get our metal plate back in there. Get our air cleaner filter back in. Get our top back in here. Go ahead and clip the top and just clip the bottom on there. Going to install our hose back. Okay, and then we'll show you the vibration bracket in the back here on the next step. Okay, now we've got all the front on and everything. We'll go ahead and get our hose hooked back up here for our breather for the valve cover. All right, we got that. Now we'll go ahead and we will get the other set up for the vibration bracket. Now if you can see back in there, I'll try to get it as close as I can for you. Back in here is where we took out the bolt for the vibration. Because we're pulling this out, we're going to give you a little longer bolt and a spacer to go back there, and that will feed in between the air cleaner and the bracket and the bolt. We've got one started back there, so let's go ahead and get that tightened down. All right, snug that down. Now that procedure's done. We're done here. Now we're ready to mount our regulator. The reason, again, we put that hose on there, you can see it's kind of tough to get a clamp in there. So we'll go ahead and show you the next procedures on mounting the bulkhead and regulator. Okay, now that we've got everything done in the inside, what we're going to do is get ready. We have to mount a bulkhead in between there. Instead of just having a hole through here and just having the hose rub on things, this is going to be connected back to this here, okay? And then obviously it's going to come through the cover, and then this will come up to the regulator. So what we're going to do is mount the bulkhead down here, and our regulator is going to mount up here, and we'll show you those procedures right now. Okay, now we'll get ready to drill we're going to end up drilling 3 holes here. First we'll install the bulkhead here, okay? What you're gonna do is come off the bottom 3.5 inches, make a mark, and then you're gonna come over 2 7/8 or 2 3/4, make a mark. All right, now on the back of this, there's a piece of foam here. Just pull this up, all right, and we'll just take a razor blade, just cut that off. That way it's out of your way, you don't tear it. And I use a step drill bit here, okay? Now you're gonna open this up to about 5/8 of an inch. Just enough clearance for that bulkhead. And we'll check it here, just to make sure she fits. A little bit more. Let's see if that does it there. Alrighty, we got clearance. Now we'll go ahead and tighten this in there. Just remove this fitting. Now we'll supply you some pipe compound. It won't be a big tube like this, but let's go ahead and get this through here. Install this back on the back here, and we'll go ahead and tighten them down. Now these are 1 inch, but if you got crescent wrenches, that's fine. That'll work perfect for you. Just kind of bring it up. Get your wrenches set. Go ahead and lock this down. This just makes for a lot cleaner fit. You don't have to worry about your hose getting kinked or anything like that, or rubbing and creating a hole in it. Everything's good to go. All right, a little bit more here. All right, that's pretty tight right there. Now what we'll do is go ahead and get our fitting, put a little pipe compound on there. And this fitting here, we don't have to over tighten these too much. You're only dealing with 6 ounces of pressure here, okay? So we're gonna bring this one up to about 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock in that area there. And then this one back over here, we're gonna come straight back towards the other side of the cover. Let's go ahead and put another little bit of compound on there. And we'll get this tightened in the position we need it. All right, there we go. That's that step there, and we'll go ahead and show you the next procedure on drilling the regulator bracket. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and install our bracket on the cover. Now what I did is just come up above the Powerhorse sticker here. Okay, it's still nice to be able to see all that. Just centered in between the door. There's really no measurement. Just get you a nice centering point there. Go ahead and make your marks with the marker there through the holes. This will all be pre-assembled for you. Now I drill these out 5/16. You're good behind you. There is again this here. You might grab it a little bit, but you're not going to hurt anything. Just go ahead, and again I drill this out 5/16. Real thin, so you're okay with it. It's not hard to drill at all. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and get our regulator bracket installed. Now we'll supply you all the hardware for this also. You're going to use 2 bolts, flat washers. Get them lined up in your regulator here. Just go ahead and line them up through the holes. Okay. And just go ahead and keep your hands on them. Turn that around. Let's get this set a little better here. And probably have to just do one at a time just to get it started. And we'll supply you a fender washer back here, a little thicker. Okay. And let's go ahead and get this one going now. Got our fender washer in there, our lock washer and our nut. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and tighten these down. There we go. That's all set. We'll show you the next procedures on getting this all assembled back up. Okay, this is going to be a little tough to show this view, but basically what I'm doing is I got the cover back up here, and we're going to attach our hose back down here. So get our clamp, and my hands are going to be in the way on this, so let's just get a clamp up on here. Okay, and I'm putting it on the blue hose down there. It slid back. Now I'm going to go ahead and slide this on the fitting here. Okay, got that on there. Go ahead and get our clamp up around in position. Alright, there we go. That's it. Let's go ahead and get this up here. Pop that in. Get our cover popped in. Go ahead and get our screws back in here. And that pretty much wraps up the steps on that. It's not that bad to do at all. And it's a nice clean look. And we'll go ahead and show you the next procedure. All right, now we've got our door all back on. Everything is back on here. The last procedure we have to do before hooking this up and running it is run our hose off our power elbow here down to our bulkhead. Again, get your clamps ready. Get that on there. Slide that on. Go ahead and clamp that down. And we'll get this one ready. Slide that down on there. And if you ever have to pull this off, you can just pull these. It's no big deal. And that wraps up that step. We'll go ahead and get this thing running. We'll show you the next procedure here. Okay, now what we're going to do is go ahead and get this set up to run on propane first. We'll go ahead and connect our regulator to the tank. Stubborn. There we go. Go ahead and take that down. This is a 7/8 wrench, or you can use a crescent wrench. Lock that down, and then we'll go ahead and you don't need pipe dope for this setup. This is a flare fitting. Again, this was a brand new unit, so I had to add oil to this. So if you have a new unit, make sure you got oil in it, obviously. Make sure if you have had gasoline in it that your gasoline shutoff valve is off in the inside. And take the ESC throttle, which is the Econo, put it to off, so you want to go high RPM. Take the machine and just put it to the on position. There's a primer button on the back of this. We're going to hit that to get the fuel to come through the system a little quicker, to get a quicker start. Now we'll preset these as close as we can here. Obviously every machine is a little bit different, depends on the hours or what you have on it, but you might have to adjust this. In is lean, out is rich. Let's go ahead and turn our propane on. Always turn your tank on slow so you don't get a vapor lock in it. Alright, make sure your valve's on here. Hit your button on the back, hit start. Adjust this out. See how she smoothed it up there? This is a nice quiet unit. That's the propane procedure. Now for natural gas, you'll eliminate obviously this high pressure assembly here with this fitting and the bushing, and then you'll run your natural gas directly to the ball valve here with this regulator. Nothing in between. Now, I always recommend 3/4 inch all the way from here to your meter. Make sure your meter is 6 ounces outlet pressure for natural gas. If it is not, you need to let us know and we'll change the spring to this to make it a weaker one. We do get a lot of calls on that with people. Sometimes they don't know exactly what their ounce outlet or inches of outlet pressure is. So it's good to always get with the gas company and ask them. That way you know before you order it. And that way you know you're insured to get the correct regulator. Now, if you cannot get that and you run into a problem, please call us. We'll work with you in any way we possibly can. So we'll go ahead and show you the next procedure. All right, that was as simple as that. I mean, it makes it nice that everything's assembled for you. That's why we try to make custom kits. Again, this was for the Powerhorse inverter. This is the 4500 starting, 3500 running watt. If you're interested in purchasing this kit from us, you can go to our website at PNG Technologies.com, or we could be reached at 734-992-2648. I hope this video helps you out a lot. Again, this is a nice little unit. It's quiet, runs great. I want to thank you again for watching this video, and you have a wonderful day.